Hello, John Suchet here. Look, surrounded by Beethoven. I am in Beethoven heaven. I cannot wait to be presenting Beethoven the Revolutionary at Cadogan Hall with the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra in June. And I want to talk now specifically about a work that we're going to hear in full on Saturday evening, the final concert of the series. And the work is The Creatures of Prometheus. You may know the overture. The overture is quite well known. The rest of it, not so well known. We're going to hear it in full. It is the only ballet that Beethoven ever wrote. He writes the overture and then 16 short pieces that follow for dance. And this was quite rare in Vienna at the time. Ballet was not a big thing. Beethoven had never written music for dancers before. And the choreographer for The Creatures of Prometheus was an Italian from Naples by the name of Salvatore Vigano. He was coming to Vienna to choreograph the ballet, and quite interestingly, his wife was a ballet dancer and had created something of a stir in Italy when she had last performed dressed in a flesh-coloured tight suit. So she appeared to be naked. It caused something of a stir, and the good people of Vienna were, shall we say, rather looking forward to her appearance in Vienna. As it happens, she did not take part. The ballerina who performed in Vienna was a well-known Viennese dancer. At the end of the first performance of this ballet, the audience hissed and booed rather than clapped, according to one eyewitness. Maybe it was something to do with the disappointment of not seeing Signorina Vigano in her flesh-coloured suit. Well, the ballet itself was never re-performed, it did not survive, and Beethoven's music, curiously, has not often been performed in full, as it will be on the Saturday night. And what an extraordinary piece it is. As I said, the overture, which is well known, then 16 short pieces. 2 of them Beethoven stole from a previous composition of country dances. And do listen out in particular for the finale. The finale of The Creatures of Prometheus uses a tune, a melody that you might well recognize. In fact, it's a melody that Beethoven himself became rather obsessed with. He used it first in one of those country dances. He then used it as the main theme for a huge set of piano variations that he composed, which were published under the title of the Prometheus Variations, because that melody comes from the ballet, The Creatures of Prometheus. But then, of course, he used it as the main theme of the final movement of his great Symphony No. 3, the Eroica. And so those piano variations became known as the Eroica Variations. So when it comes to the 16th number in The Creatures of Prometheus, you will hear the famous theme that is used in the final movement of Beethoven's Eroica Symphony. Now, I said that the ballet itself, at its first performance, was hissed and booed rather than applauded. That did not go for the music. The music, by all accounts, went down very well indeed. Now, as far as we know, it was never performed again in Beethoven's lifetime. Even that first performance had to be delayed because Beethoven was seriously ill, as he so often was. Maybe an association of ideas in his head, but as far as we know, well, we know for sure, he never wrote another ballet. So The Creatures of Prometheus stands alone, I believe, as one of his great works. Surprisingly, not often performed in full. Cannot wait to hear it in full on the Saturday night as the final concert of the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra's Beethoven series, Beethoven the Revolutionary.